When your franchise cornerstone goes down with an injury, do you panic and make desperate moves? Or do you strike with surgical precision to keep your championship dreams alive? The San Francisco 49ers find themselves facing exactly this dilemma right now, and the decision they make could define their entire 2025 season. Nick Bosa's absence has left a gaping hole in their defense that's threatening to derail what many considered a Super Bowl-caliber roster. But there's a potential solution sitting in Miami that could change everything if the 49ers are bold enough to pull the trigger. Bradley Chubb represents more than just a Band-Aid fix for San Francisco's pass rush problems. This is a legitimate game changer who could transform a desperate situation into a strategic advantage. The question isn't whether the 49ers need help, it's whether they have the courage to make the move that could save their season. While San Francisco is dealing with their Bosa crisis, Miami finds itself in an equally challenging but different predicament. The Dolphins are drowning at 0-3, sitting at the bottom of the AFC East with their playoff hopes already looking grim. This is exactly the type of situation that forces organizations to shift from win-now mode to asset accumulation, and Bradley Chubb represents their most valuable trade chip. The timing couldn't be more perfect for both franchises. Miami survived the entire 2024 season without Chubb due to his injury, proving they can function defensively without his services. Meanwhile, they've made significant investments elsewhere on their defensive line, suggesting Chubb might be expendable if the price is right. For a team staring at another disappointing season, the prospect of converting a 28-year-old pass rusher into future draft capital becomes increasingly attractive with each loss. The Dolphins' front office knows that keeping Chubb for a lost season makes little sense when they could be building for the future instead. Chubb's recent return to form makes him even more appealing as a trade asset. After missing significant time with injury concerns, he's looked explosive and healthy in early 2025 action. This isn't a team selling damaged goods. They're potentially offering a premium pass rusher who's hitting his stride at the perfect moment. One of the most compelling aspects of a potential Chubb acquisition is how manageable the financial commitment would be for San Francisco. Thanks to a March contract restructure, Chubb's massive $55 million deal carries a surprisingly reasonable 2025 cap hit of approximately $12.4 million. For a team of the 49ers caliber, that's not a budget-breaking number. The financial flexibility becomes even more attractive when you consider Miami's potential willingness to retain salary, similar to Denver's approach with the Von Miller trade in 2021. Teams selling assets at the deadline often sweeten deals by eating portions of contracts, and Miami's current situation suggests they might be open to such arrangements. Perhaps most importantly, Chubb's contract structure includes no guaranteed money beyond the season, meaning San Francisco wouldn't be locked into a long-term commitment. This creates a perfect rental scenario where the 49ers can maximize their 2025 championship window without mortgaging their financial future. The risk-reward calculation becomes even more favorable when you consider the alternative. Without a significant pass rush upgrade, the 49ers defense could struggle to maintain the elite level necessary for playoff success. Investing $12 to $15 million in cap space for a proven pass rusher, who could be the difference between a first-round exit and a deep playoff run, seems like smart business. Head coach Kyle Shanahan didn't sugarcoat the reality of losing Nick Bosa when he told reporters, "You don't just replace a guy like Nick. When you lose your better players, it gets harder, but I also expect throughout this year all of our players to get better as it goes." That's stressed even that much more when you lose a great one like Nick. Reading between the lines of Shanahan's comments reveals the coaching staff's understanding that they need external help. While he's publicly expressing confidence in his current players stepping up, the emphasis on everyone needing to get better and step it up suggests internal recognition that their current options aren't sufficient. The 49ers built their defensive identity around Bosa's ability to wreck opposing game plans single-handedly. His combination of technique, athleticism, and football IQ created problems that opposing offensive coordinators had to account for on every snap. Losing that element doesn't just hurt the pass rush, it affects coverage, run defense, and overall defensive coordination. Shanahan's acknowledgement that lots of guys obviously will have to step it up reveals the coaching staff's concerns about asking role players to become primary contributors. While depth players can occasionally exceed expectations, championship-level teams typically need elite talent at key positions, especially in the playoffs where margins for error shrink dramatically. Based on recent deadline precedents and the current market dynamics, a fair trade package would likely center around significant draft compensation. The Montez Sweat trade that netted a second-round pick provides a useful benchmark, though Chubb's contract situation and injury history might slightly adjust his value. A realistic proposal would send Bradley Chubb to San Francisco in exchange for a 2026 second-round pick and a 2026 sixth-round pick. This package acknowledges Chubb's talent and potential impact while accounting for the financial considerations and injury concerns that might temper his market value. For Miami, acquiring a future second-rounder provides significant value for rebuilding efforts. Second-round picks often yield starting-caliber players, and having additional ammunition for the 2026 draft could help accelerate their reconstruction timeline. The additional sixth-rounder sweetens the deal without creating excessive cost for San Francisco. From the 49ers' perspective, this investment makes sense given their championship window and current needs. Trading future assets for immediate help aligns with their competitive timeline, especially considering the uncertainty surrounding their core players' long-term futures in San Francisco. Adding Bradley Chubb wouldn't just fill the Bosa void, it could potentially create an even more dynamic pass rush rotation. When Bosa returns from injury, the 49ers would possess one of the league's most formidable edge rushing tandems, capable of creating constant pressure and forcing offensive coordinators into impossible situations. Chubb's skill set complements the 49ers' defensive scheme perfectly. His combination of power and speed would fit seamlessly into their aggressive attacking style, while his veteran experience would provide leadership for younger players who might be pressing to fill larger roles. The psychological impact on opposing offenses cannot be understated either. Facing a healthy Chubb alongside the 49ers' existing defensive weapons would create protection nightmares that could benefit every level of the defense. Better pass rush typically leads to improved coverage, more turnovers, and enhanced run defense as offensive lines dedicate extra resources to protection. For San Francisco, this trade represents more than just roster management. It's about maximizing a championship window that might not stay open indefinitely. The 49ers have invested heavily in building a Super Bowl-caliber roster, and allowing injuries to derail those efforts would be organizational malpractice. Championship teams distinguish themselves by making bold moves when opportunities arise. The combination of Miami's struggles, Chubb's availability, and San Francisco's immediate need creates a rare alignment of circumstances that savvy organizations capitalize on. The 2025 season represents a crucial moment for the 49ers' current core. Waiting until next year to address their pass rush needs could mean missing their optimal championship window. Smart organizations understand that timing matters in professional sports, and this might be their moment to strike. The Bradley Chubb trade scenario represents exactly the type of calculated risk that championship organizations must be willing to take. The financial commitment is manageable, the talent upgrade is significant, and the timing aligns perfectly with both teams' needs and circumstances. San Francisco cannot afford to let Nick Bosa's injury define their season, especially when a proven solution exists in Miami. The Dolphins' struggles create opportunity, and the 49ers should be aggressive enough to seize it before other teams recognize the same potential. Sometimes championship runs require bold decisions at crucial moments. For the 49ers, trading for Bradley Chubb could be the move that transforms a potential disaster into the foundation for playoff success. This situation has all the elements of a win-win trade that could reshape both franchises' trajectories. The question isn't whether it makes sense, it's whether both organizations are smart enough to make it happen before the opportunity disappears. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think the 49ers should go all in for Chubb, or would you rather see them develop internal solutions to their pass rush problems? Jump into the comments and let me know whether you think this trade would be a masterstroke or a mistake. I love hearing different perspectives on these high-stakes decisions that could change everything.